line up against Marg Angove. What moves will they make to counteract each other? Also defensively for the Thunderbirds, I mean, what a unique combination. Harvey and Sutter, two Australian players up against Southby and Sherelle McMahon. That should also be a wonderful contest in itself. Mid-court for perhaps Phoenix, not as strong as the South Australian side, and the Victoria-South Australia rivalry, it's there and I can hardly wait.
Thanks very much, Mon. Look forward to your comments throughout the evening. Well, let's take a look now at how these two teams will line up against each other on court. For the Melbourne Phoenix in goal, Sherelle McMahon and Southby, while the rest of the team, Jacobson, Howie, Chocolate, Taverner and Walton. For the Thunderbirds, Sutter and Harvey, Squire, Sanders, Hodge, Delaney and Mogg. The Phoenix are coached by Joyce Brown, the Thunderbirds by Marg Angove. Sitting on the reserves bench tonight for the two teams, for the Phoenix, Harrison, Paulson, Smith, Chatfield and Dick. And for Adelaide Thunderbirds, Sloan, Neal and Andrews. So not a bad crowd in at the Waverley Sports Centre tonight, Netball Centre, for this match between the Thunderbirds and the Melbourne Phoenix. The Thunderbirds have won the toss, and so they have the first centre pass. Our umpires tonight, Stacey Campton and Donna Davey, as that one just goes over the sideline for the Thunderbirds. It is quite cold here in Melbourne this evening, so it may take the girls a little while to warm up. Howie does well to stay in court, but it goes across to the Thunderbirds. Mogg onto Sanders. Contacts on Howie, though. Jackie Delaney lines up for her first, and it drops in for Delaney. She's been in superb form this season so far. Last round, 24 from 29 at 83%. For the season overall, she shot 145 goals from 184 attempts, a shooting rate of 79%. She's been instrumental in the Thunderbirds having such a great run in this season so far.
Already Catherine Harvey getting into the game here for the Thunderbirds. Two deflections. Up against Southby, time being held by Sherelle McMahon.
Early in the match for Sherelle to be having a problem.
Seems to be an ankle.
I'm wondering whether somebody stepped on her foot in that contest for the ball, perhaps. She's just going to have it flexed. James Mack is the physio for the Adelaide Thunderbirds, so he's been brought in quite early. Oh, actually, this is the Melbourne Phoenix. Of course, Monica, thank you. It's Wayne Rogers out on course with Sherelle McMahon. We'll try and see what happened to Sherelle McMahon here. Harvey and herself went for the ball. Didn't seem that Harvey stepped
Maybe just a warm-up problem there in the early stages of this game, Simone. Flexing looks like McMahon planted her foot and went to pivot, and perhaps the movement in the lateral ligament area didn't go with her.
Normally we'd say it's a good opportunity for the teams to get together, regroup and have a bit of a chat, but really we've only got one goal on the board and we've only had, you know, just over a minute of play. Might be a good opportunity for us to talk about the test matches coming up. Australia versus England, the first one on May 25 in Melbourne. We'll get back to those because McMahon seems to be able to get on with play now, so time is being called back on. Southby now, first shot for the Phoenix, and it is successful. 1-1 on the scoreboard.
And the parochial Victorian crowd backing up the Melbourne Phoenix here. Good work there by Howie. That ball coming from Mogg and the die-hard Jackie Delaney. Takes the penalty shot. Good attempt there. Rebound by Mogg right under the post and successful Cassie Mogg. So the Adelaide Thunderbirds with 2 early minutes of this first term.
Southby now for the Phoenix. Jacobson out to McMahon. She flew through the air, landed quite well there, so the foot not giving it too much trouble now. Nice ball into Southby, who'd made herself available. Finishes it off nicely, Eloise Southby. 2-2 on the scoreboard here in Melbourne.
Hodge goes out. Mogg cuts to the middle.
Contact, centre.
A lot of attention there by Walton up against Mogg on that take.
And Liz Walton, she's a young talent here. She's a member of the under-21 Australian team, so be interested to watch her tonight. As Cassie Mogg puts in another goal for the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Good defensive action there, Peter Squire.
Contact, centre.
Containing Wendy Jacobson on the transverse line. Ball with Howie.
Howie out to Jacobson, another great ball into Sherelle McMahon, and she finishes off nicely. There's been some good feeding so far from the Melbourne Phoenix into their shooters.
Strong words there from Sherelle McMahon, encouraging her players. Ball back in the Thunderbirds' goal circle. Hodge on the perimeter. Delaney sets up and sinks it for the Thunderbirds.
Doesn't take Jackie Delaney long to get the eye in these matches. 2 from 3 at 67% for the match so far. Jacobson, bullet-like passes. Southby works well with her. Moves a little closer. That one drops in for Southby. It's great work by both teams here so far. 4 all. And this is what we've been hoping for, a nice tight match.
Good work there by Chocolate. Got the deflection. Kept onside. Goal line throw-in going the way of the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Delaney takes it. Hodge controls. Back to Delaney.
Off the rim from Delaney, and it was a nice rebound there from Liz Taverner. So the Phoenix now on the attack. Long ball across court to Howie. Into Jacobson.
Came off Peter Squire. Got the deflection. Going the way of the Melbourne Phoenix.
Jacobson into Southby, out of the circle, over the top to McMahon. Sarah Sutter guarding McMahon. Over the top. Rims out though. Harvey comes up with it for the Thunderbirds. So Delaney. Back to Harvey.
It's a good flick there from Sutter to Harvey. So the defenders for the Adelaide Thunderbirds stepping up a level, but a turnover going the way of the Melbourne Phoenix.
Alex Hodge offside there. So the Phoenix now onto Walton.
Squire once again putting pressure on Jacobson. Sanders had Howie covered. Sideline going to Phoenix.
Jacobson looking for an option. Finds Howie. Jacobson drags it in. Cross court. That goes against the keeper though. Sarah Sutter will stand aside.
Southby positioning the ball well into the pocket. Has the penalty shot and shoots it for the Phoenix.
Eloise Southby with the goal.
Vantage breaking goal attack.
Phoenix through Jacobson. Out to Southby. In the circle to McMahon. Strong work from her in front of Sutter. And McMahon with the goal. So under 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter, and the Phoenix out to a 2-goal lead. 6 plays 4.
McMahon with the shot there on that last goal. Sinks it beautifully for Phoenix.
There's been a turnover to the Phoenix. But almost immediately, oh, Delaney comes down hard there. A call has gone against her, so...
I love watching Jackie Delaney. She just gives 100% every game.
She's up onto her feet quickly as Southby drives into McMahon. The crowd appreciates Sherelle McMahon's effort there. She takes them to a 3-goal lead. She was heavily defended by Harvey and Sutter, but still managed to drag it in.
Southby, great pass on to McMahon, right on the goal line, under the post. Phoenix again.
7 plays 4, with the opportunity to make it a 4-goal lead here. Eloise Southby does just that. And they're running hot, the Melbourne Phoenix, in this first quarter. The crowd appreciate it. They're quite vocal. And I'm sure Joyce Brown and the Melbourne Phoenix know that this is a must-win game tonight to keep them in contention with the top of that competition ladder.
Sanders to Mogg. Mogg at the top of the circle. Extension there by Walton. Good hands by Taverner. Stays with Hodge, though. Picking up the crumbs. Delaney hits the top of the post. Rebounded well by Phoenix.
Nice movement through court from the Phoenix. Howie. Taverner. That's Jacobson.
Vantage contact.
Walton onto Chocolate. Jacobson looking for an option. They've just not quite got the drive to the circle at the moment, the Phoenix. Obstruction called against Squire. So Jacobson now looking for McMahon. Howie on the top of the circle. This time McMahon gets free. And it rolls in for the goal shooter for the Melbourne Phoenix. They now have a 5-goal lead. 9 plays 4.
Ball drops to McMahon. And probably fair to say, Simone, that Sherelle McMahon hasn't had a great start of the season in 99. She's come off a Commonwealth Games gold medal last year and been out of touch in the early rounds.
Yeah, that's true, Monica. We've just got a pause in play here as Rebecca Sanders has called a timeout for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. What you've said is quite true. She shot 112 goals from 143 attempts. At 78%, that is a good figure, but I'm sure by her standards, she'd be looking to improve that. Last week, she shot at 75%. Tonight so far, 4 from 5 at 80%. She's already got that percentage up. I'm sure she'll be looking to keep it there. As the Phoenix have another centre pass. 9 plays 4. They're up by 5.
Strong work there from Squire, coming in late though.
Jacobson to McMahon. She dragged her foot there. She tried everything she could. Off balance, falling. And it's gone against her.
McMahon lifting the grounded foot. Turnover going the way of the Thunderbirds. Hodge takes a hard one. Sanders back in the middle. Penalty picked up by Harvey. Southby out. Oh, Taverner saw it, withdrew, did well. Good body control there from Taverner.
On the land, Dr.
She'll get another go at it, Cassie Mogg. And doesn't make the mistake with the second one. So 9 plays 5 now. The Phoenix still with a 4-goal lead. Thunderbirds with the centre pass. Sanders onto Hodge, out to Delaney. Sanders again. Tried to find Delaney and has done just that. Walton stands aside. She was with the infringement. Jackie Delaney, that was beautiful shooting from her.
Trailing by 3 at the moment. The Adelaide Thunderbirds on 6. Melbourne Phoenix on 9. Just under 7 minutes remaining in this first term.
Chocolate with the ball. She goes over the top to Jacobson, but it was great work from Squire, who got a hand to it. Even better work from Liz Taverner at the other end, has regathered possession for the Phoenix. This is a great tussle out on court between these two teams. Sanders goes for the intercept this time. So Hodge, there's intercepts aplenty out there on court at the moment. Cassie Mogg tries to settle it down. And that is a nice settling goal for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They're now only behind by 2.
Not allowed, Simone.
Oh.
Yeah, not allowed at all.
I was a little too quick to look down at the screen. At the other end now, McMahon.
Contact.
See if she can put them 4 goals ahead again. And she does. Phoenix 10, Thunderbirds 6.
Contact, wing defense, centre third.
Adelaide Thunderbirds have met the Melbourne Phoenix on 7 occasions and have only won 2.
Sorry, Dalton. Sorry.
One of those being very important. That was the semi-final last year. 61-53 in that semi. Here at the moment. Trailing by 4.
Hodge with a nice ball over to Mogg, but she was hit in the mouth. Accidentally, I dare say, by Liz Walton as they both went up for that ball. She's called for time just to settle herself. We'll have a look. Oh, it was actually Taverner who went up with her. She came down immediately and called for time. Whack in the mouth. She seems to be okay. Time's back on. Cassie Mogg lines it up. And is good with the shot, Mogg. 4 from 4 at 100% so far in this match tonight. So the Phoenix through Howie onto Chocolate. Jacobson. Walton onto Howie.
Oh, good work, Delaney. Just putting the hands in. Cutting off the pass. Delaney, very effective. Sorry, so I was just about to say she's worth her weight in gold, Jackie Delaney. Attacks well, defends well, and here it is. Cut off the pass through the midcourt.
And never has a slack moment on court, Monica, either. She's always looking, always knows where that ball is, and that's why she is so effective coming up with those, just gets a touch on it or perhaps an intercept. But the Phoenix now with possession, they're out by 3. 10 plays 7, under 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Chocolate onto Walton, long ball through the corridor to Jacobson, onto McMahon. That was a nice pass. McMahon a little hard with it, comes off the back of the rim. Sun does well to drag it in. Harvey, well out of the circle, does well. Out to Hodge. Hodge can't quite drag it in, and it's another turnover to the Phoenix.
Chocolate ate that one up.
Oh, Mon, no. Okay, we'll ignore that one. Howie onto McMahon. It was a risky pass. Plenty of players flying through. Didn't reach Jacobson. But there must have been a touch in there from the Thunderbirds, because possession has remained with the Phoenix. Southby, all net for Eloise Southby, 6 from 6 at 100%. Melbourne Phoenix 11, the Adelaide Thunderbirds 7.
3 more attempts on the board, and a great pass there, Mogg. All by a lonesome in the goal circle for the Adelaide Thunderbirds, and she scores. Cassie Mogg, 5 from 5, so good shooting.
Liz Taverner wasn't happy with that at all. She went screaming back into the circle, threw the ball back with some gusto. She was unhappy she got caught out there. The Phoenix now through McMahon into Southby. And Southby travelling along quite nicely at the moment. 7 from 7. Phoenix 12, Thunderbirds 8. 3.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Harvey, Sanders, Out to Hodge.
Obstruction wing.
Over to Delaney. She'll take it from there, Jackie Delaney. Quite confident at the moment. Off the rim, Walton gathers it back in for the Phoenix.
Chocolate, long one to Taverner, and it does go over the sideline. Sanders, Australian player in centre for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Hodge, young player.
Oh, that one just a stray of Jackie Delaney. And good work there from Liz Walton. She was away in the circle, dragged it in for the Phoenix.
Obstruction, goal attack.
Oh, this one will come back.
McMahon just seemed to take a knock there from
To the goal
Sutter.
attack, please.
Okay, play set up with Chocolate.
Chocolate onto Jacobson. Oh, heavy pressure there from Harvey on Southby.
Goal defence.
It's going to be brought back again, though. Jacobson for the Phoenix.
Advantage obstruction.
Over to McMahon. McMahon looks to work with her other players, but there was a hand in there, and the Thunderbirds now have it. Hodge turns around onto Delaney. Back to Hodge. Nice work from Hodge. Good court movement.
Walton with the hands on there, but the umpire calls it the other way. Delaney, Rice smile. She knows she didn't touch it last.
Things falling the way of the Melbourne Phoenix at the moment. They are ahead by 4 goals. Working well on getting the ball quickly down court. Howie onto McMahon.
Contact centre.
Goes against Sanders, so Howie onto Southby. Ball finds McMahon. And that one goes in for Sherelle McMahon. 6 goals from 8 attempts, 75% for this match. Susan Howie has a centre for the Phoenix. Jacobson, Southby onto Howie, into McMahon. Sutter tries her best, but it doesn't put Sherelle McMahon off. And the Phoenix, 14, lead the Adelaide Thunderbirds 8.
Hodge again, working to Mogg. The quick 1-2. Mogg takes the additional space. Taverner out on the penalty. Mogg right under the post. So the margin now 6, no 5. 14 plays 9.
Phoenix through Jacobson. Yes, yes was the call from Sherelle McMahon. She knew she had position. She wanted it quickly. Contact went against Sutter. A little too hard on the shot, though, from McMahon. And a nice rebound from Sutter.
Yes, great rebound. Comes the ball in. McMahon goes up. Sutter with her, but she drew the contact.
At the other end, the Thunderbirds working hard in the circle. Jackie Delaney, Rebecca Sanders combine nicely. Delaney finishes it off well for the Thunderbirds. 14 plays 10. Jackie Delaney, not really a good shooting statistic for her at the moment. 4 goals from 8 attempts at 50%. I'm sure she'll be looking to lift that.
Howie offside. Delaney sets it up again. Mogg working the goal line. Delaney working the front. But picked up the contact on her movement and followed through.
Liz Walton hasn't been, I suppose, she hasn't taken any steps back here. She's a young player. She's coming up against one of the best in Jackie Delaney.
She's right in Jackie's face the whole time.
She certainly is doing very well.
I agree, Simone. She's really put in great first quarter.
14 plays 10. Phoenix ahead by 4. Howie into McMahon. Nice ball. And McMahon finishes it off. They're out by 5. And that is quarter time here in Waverley. 15 plays 10. It was a fast and furious quarter, and the Melbourne Phoenix are up by 5 goals. Let's take a look at the shooting statistics and also the statistics of the rest of the team for the Melbourne Phoenix for that first quarter. You can see there McMahon, 8 from 11 goals. She had 4 turnovers and 2 penalties. Southby, 7 from 7, shooting at 100% for that first quarter. She'll be happy with that. Howie's given away 4 penalties, as has Walton, but as we've said, she is defending Jackie Delaney, so we won't hold that against her. Chocolate has 2, and Liz Taverner has 1 penalty and 1 intercept for the quarter. Was a strong first quarter by the Melbourne Phoenix. They're ahead by 5, and they have the first centre pass of the second quarter. 15 plays 10. Beautiful ball from Southby immediately into McMahon. Even better ball from Howie into Southby. And Southby starts the second quarter very well indeed for the Melbourne Phoenix. They're out by 6 now. Monica, the Phoenix, looking sharp. Their throws and passes are going exactly where they want. Taverner does well there.
A lot of long options used by the Melbourne Phoenix here tonight. They really are opening up the court and spaces, and Southby and McMahon's precision passing in that goal circle has paid dividends at the moment. 16 plays 11, so 5 the difference still. Start of the second quarter.
Jacobson back to Chocolate, back to Jacobson, cross to McMahon. Howie now, quick hands, was looking to get into Southby. Harvey stands aside, Southby takes a step in. Very nice range indeed for Southby. She hasn't missed yet for the evening, 9 from 9 at 100%. I'm sure I've just put the mocker on her, I hope not.
Mogg for the Adelaide Thunderbirds also shooting at 100%. She's out of the circle at the moment, working it in with Sanders. Contact picked up on the other side of the goal circle. Hodge to take it. Over the shoulder there by Taverner. Delaney will take a few inches additional space and sinks that one for the Adelaide Thunderbirds, and the Melbourne crowd really don't care all that too much about the Thunderbirds score at the moment. They're on 12 and the Phoenix 17.
Indeed, Phoenix out by 5, looking to make it 6. Howie with a strong pass into McMahon.
Contact, goalkeeper.
McMahon over the top to Jacobson, but the contact has been called, so it'll be taken from the top of the circle. And Sherelle McMahon, one step in. She's confident, and so she should be. That was a very nice goal indeed. Phoenix now 18, the Thunderbirds 12.
Delaney, long one to Hodge. Loses Chocolate on the drop into the pocket. Delaney again, just places it to Sanders. No forcing at the moment by the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Mogg, front position. Smart option used, but that one missed by Cassie Mogg. That's her first miss of the match. 7 from 8.
That's what you get the feeling about the Thunderbirds, though. They may be behind by 6, but they never panic. They just take their time, and before you know it, they'll be pinning back those goals one at a time. Or maybe not in this case, but so that's what we normally notice.
A few more turnovers required by the Adelaide Thunderbirds defensively. In that first term, I think the turnover rate by the Adelaide Thunderbirds was 11, so giving a lot more away than the Melbourne Phoenix.
Delaney still shooting at 50%, isn't having a very happy night at all.
At the moment, turnovers 13, you saw on screen, and Melbourne Phoenix 6.
Mogg off to Delaney. Let's see what she can do with this one. This one goes in for Cassie Mogg, for Jackie Delaney. So 18 plays 13, Phoenix still out in front. Jacobson onto Howie, cross to McMahon. Into Southby,
oh, great work.
Catches a flying McMahon on the way back into the circle. And that one drops in for Sherelle McMahon. It was great sight, as you called, Monica, from Eloise Southby.
Spears back out to McMahon. She saw the space. That was great work there from the two shooters.
A call against Eloise Southby on this occasion, and the Thunderbirds with possession. Delaney, nice high ball to Mogg. Mogg works with Sanders to improve her position.
Contact, goal defence.
Walton stands aside, and Mogg with the goal.
Very frustrating move by a shooter there, Simone, particularly when they take the space, and the advantage is for the shooter in the wing attack to work it closer to the post. The defender cannot get anywhere with passes coming in that quickly.
Contact, goal defence.
Southby looked to play on quickly, but it'll be brought back. Chocolate with the ball for the Phoenix. Jacobson onto Howie. Howie, long high ball into McMahon. She does nicely to bring it in. Bounce pass off to Southby. Oh, just off the rim for Southby. And that one goes against Harvey. She stands aside. Southby with the goal. They've just got the timing happening at the moment, the Melbourne Phoenix.
I was about to say the same, really, when you look at Sherelle McMahon. Her movement to the ball is just so quick. She's out jumping Sutter by that fraction of a second. There's the shooting stats there. 10 from 13 for McMahon, 10 from 11 from Southby. Mogg 8 from 9, Delaney 6 from 11. So not great shooting from the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Jackie Delaney in and out. Just didn't want to drop. Cassie Mogg, though, with a strong rebound. Taverner over the back, but she's been called for the contact. Oh, just drops in for Cassie Mogg. They're just hanging on. 20 plays 15, 5 the difference. It is only the second quarter, though. Plenty of time left in this match. Phoenix, Howie, Onto Jacobson. Quick ball to McMahon, who looks to release quickly onto Howie. Back into McMahon. Gee, she's covering some ground. And she's finishing it off nicely as well. 11 goals for Sherelle McMahon in the match so far from 14 attempts, shooting at 79%.
Oh, great take. Oh.
And what great footwork to stay inside that sideline.
Good teamwork by the Melbourne Phoenix, backing each other up also as they try and move the ball forward. McMahon cuts through the middle. Jacobson swings it back to the other pocket. Offside there called by Sanders.
So McMahon out to Jacobson. It'll be a throw-in for the Phoenix. Jacobson looking for McMahon, but she's heavily guarded by Sutter. Nice. Yeah, it was contact there on McMahon. Nice work from Harvey. Positioned herself well. Oh, Mogul by herself because everyone else was flying out on the wing. And it's not long before a few of those are going to collide, I think, Monica. We saw a heavy collision in last week's match.
Delaney goes out there, and you could see Hodge had the pocket. Taverner had a measure and went with her.
It's fast and furious out there, Monica, isn't it? Both teams putting in 100% effort. Great
netball. Any let up at all in play, and it's very fast. We've said McMahon and Southby working effectively in the Phoenix goal circle, but down the other end the Thunderbirds are making the ball work for them very quickly down court.
Sanders for the Thunderbirds just pops a nice one in the air for Delaney. Jackie Delaney, that's her 7th goal for the evening. 21 plays 17.
Sanders sees the space. Well-weighted pass to Delaney. Not forced, just dropped.
Another turnover against the Thunderbirds. The Phoenix on the attack. Long ball from Howie to McMahon. That one last off McMahon, so Sutter will bring it back in for the Thunderbirds. Harvey across to Sutter. Howie tried to get a hand to it. Didn't quite get there. Delaney now onto Hodge. Mogg across the circle to Sanders. Sanders into Mogg. Does well against Taverner. Good work there from Cassie Mogg. 11 goals from 13 attempts at 85%. She's working hard tonight.
3 the difference at the moment. Phoenix 21, Thunderbirds 18.
Sanders with a hand in there. Wing area. Goes across the baseline, but it's still with the Phoenix. Howie tries to weight the ball across to Southby. Harvey has been pinned for the obstruction, though. And Eloise Southby, 11 from 12 tonight. She's shooting at 92%. Super effort in these first 2 quarters. Phoenix 22, Thunderbirds 18. Delaney positioned herself well. It was a nice pass in and finishes it off nicely as well, Jackie Delaney.
Sanders finding some space on the goal circle. Delaney also with the Melbourne Phoenix. Howie to Walton, Jacobson, sideline option used, that's McMahon. Great pass from McMahon. Nice take also from Southby. Finishes it off for the Melbourne Phoenix. 23 plays 19, and there's Joyce Brown, looking quite relaxed.
Oh, I was going to say she was looking still quite intense and quite worried, Monica.
No, that's a relaxed look for Joyce.
Oh, okay. Still a long way to go in this match. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Phoenix 23, Thunderbirds 19. What an intense game it's been so far. Hope you're enjoying the action on ABC television. I'm sure this is going to end up being an edge-of-the-seat clash. Howie with the ball for the Phoenix, but it'll be brought into McMahon. And Sherelle McMahon with a nice action. 22 plays 19.
McMahon 10 from 14, Southby 12 from 13. Attempts overall, 28 attempts to Melbourne Phoenix and 27 to the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Southby takes a second look. She faked and went up for it the second time. Lovely work. And the crowd appreciate it. They're vocal here at Waverley, and so they should be. Their team is playing fantastic. Netball out on court. Cassie Mogg drags one back in for the Thunderbirds. They are the defending champions, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, and at the moment they sit on top of the competition ladder. They've only been beaten once this season. It was by the Melbourne Kestrels. So they are beatable. And I think the Phoenix are holding on to that tonight.
Melbourne Phoenix shooting at 83%, 25 from 30. Adelaide Thunderbirds 20 from 28 at 71%. Penalties 26 apiece. And rebounds, much of the same there. 3 to the Phoenix, 4 Thunderbirds.
Quite a close encounter on the statistics table as well. As out on court is Sanders. Nice ball into Mogg. Mogg does well to keep the footing inside the court.
Keeper.
Cassie Mogg. Ooh, reduces that difference. It's only 3 now. Phoenix 25, Thunderbirds 22. Cassie Mogg screaming some encouragement to her teammates. Phoenix centre pass. Jacobson to McMahon. McMahon with a running throw to Southby. Southby from a long way out. She doesn't need another attempt at that one. That was very nice. Off the rim and through the net. That's the way she likes them. Great ball from Squire to Mogg. That was just a fantastic pass.
Sutter and Harvey applauding that pass. Look at this, wound up by Squire, spots Mogg, lets it go. Thank you very much, Cassie Mogg. Puts one in for the Thunderbirds.
We've seen some great passes this evening. That's the best of them so far.
3 the difference, Simone. Great game here. 3 minutes remaining in this second term.
Certainly is. The Phoenix looking to extend that lead again. Oh, pressure though from the Thunderbirds defenders has turned up the mistake from the Phoenix.
Almost professional penalty there, I thought, because McMahon hit the ball out of Harvey's hand, and that, I thought, was just to slow up the play for the Thunderbirds moving down court, because a lot of the Thunderbirds were in position for a great attack. Delaney once again hits the boards. Just back up.
I just want to say, sorry, Mon, she's tough. Like, I heard a knee crack on the floorboards from here, and she just sprung straight back up, and here she is. Looking to improve position.
Advantage contact offside centre.
Jackie Delaney with the goal. That's her 9th. 9 from 16 attempts at 56%.
Vantage breaking goal attack.
She's one you'd always want to have on your side, Jackie Delaney.
Oh, yes, please.
Offside centre.
Sanders out to Delaney. Cross to Sanders. Does well to climb high and bring it back in.
She's a real character to boot as well. She actually has a personality. Got a lot going for her.
That's nice to hear. It's difference back to 1. 26 plays 25. The Thunderbirds, as we said, they've just chipped away at that lead. Now they're back within 1. Southby from a long way out, and it is short, but good work from McMahon. She positioned herself under that post, dragged in the rebound, scored the goal. The crowd, they enjoyed it, and so did McMahon. She had a bit of a smile on her face. The Thunderbirds now on the attack through Sanders.
Once again, Mogg working it in quickly to Sanders. Baseline was covered, Hodge in the pocket. Look at the way Delaney just leaves enough room for Mogg to work around her. Walton with the extension, Mogg with the shot. Won the margin as we're going into the last minute almost of this second term. 27 plays, 26.
Howie. Southby. McMahon out to Howie. The Phoenix, oh, nice ball across to McMahon as Harvey goes reeling backwards. It's tied out there. 2 the difference now. 28 plays, 26. The Phoenix holding on to a 2-goal lead over the Thunderbirds. Harvey down to Delaney. Cross court to Sanders. Oh, quick ball into Mogg, but it's been called against Jackie Delaney, the contact, so it's a turnover to the Phoenix. Under a minute remaining in this second quarter.
Good hands there again by Squire. Keeps the pressure on sideline. Taken by Chocolate.
Chocolate into Jacobson. Hands on there from the Thunderbirds, but it remains in the Phoenix possession. Howie looking for one of her shooters. Oh, over the top to McMahon. Back out to Howie. Into McMahon, who's improved her position. Oh, she's laying well against Catherine Harvey tonight. One of the toughest defenders in the country to work against, and McMahon is playing well. It is a Phoenix centre, but they won't have time to take this pass.
No,
oh, yes, they will. Under 10 seconds remaining, the timekeeper is up. They're going to have to be quick, and in fact, this time is called for the second quarter. Oh, it was a torrid affair. The difference is 3. The Melbourne Phoenix still out in front, 29 over the Adelaide Thunderbirds, 26. Let's have a look at how both teams matched up in that first half. It was fast and it was furious, and I'm sure it's going to be even on the statistical board. Penalties, 30 plays 29. Turnovers, the Thunderbirds have given away an extra 6. Intercepts, relatively even, 6 for the Thunderbirds, 4 for the Phoenix. Rebounds, 5 for the Thunderbirds, 4 for the Phoenix. Both teams have taken 35 attempts for the half, but that score, the Melbourne Phoenix have converted 29, while the Adelaide Thunderbirds have only converted 26. At the first quarter break, it was 5 the difference in favour of the Phoenix. At the halftime break, it was 3 the difference. This is the third quarter. The Thunderbirds will get us underway. 29 plays 26, the Phoenix in the lead. Hodge onto Delaney, into Mogg. Rims out for Mogg. She wasn't happy with herself.
Good work there from Hodge. She got hands on that, but Chocolate again picking it up.
Taverner to Walton, long ball, managed to find Southby.
Oh, good attempt there by Squire. Harvey left her player, went out for the intercept, overran, couldn't recover. Squire backed her up.
Chocolate with the ball for Phoenix. Jacobson, across court to Walton. The call was yes for McMahon. She came out of the circle and received it well. Southby was looking for Jacobson. Squire got a hand to it, upset the play for the Phoenix. Phoenix still with possession though, so Southby. Cross to Howie, quick hands back into Southby. Eloise Southby has 15 goals from 17 attempts at 88%. Very nice shooting figures indeed from 2 quarters of netball for Eloise. I'm sure she'll be looking to keep it up in the next 2. Sherelle McMahon. Jacobson. Strong ball to McMahon, who works well with Howie. And again, they're out by 5, the Phoenix. 31 plays 26. Delaney onto Hodge. Sanders, was looking for Delaney. Contact goes against Taverner. Both of them are committed to the ball. Rolls in for Delaney. Slowly her shooting percentage is creeping up. 11 from 18 now at 61%.
There's Sanders to Delaney, and both Taverner and Delaney wanting the same spot.
Southby into McMahon. Sherelle McMahon with her 17th goal from 21 attempts at 81%. It's a nice time to be playing well for Sherelle McMahon as we see. Hodge with the ball onto Sanders. Australian duties coming up for many of these players out on court tonight. About to come up in a test series against England as we see Jackie Delaney roll that one in. In fact, on court at the moment, McMahon, Taverner for the Phoenix. Delaney, Hodge, Sanders, Squire and Harvey for the Thunderbirds are all in the Australian squad that will play in that series. So some class players out on court tonight.
Obstruction, goal defense.
Southby sinks that one. Phoenix 33, Thunderbirds 28.
And you would think that the Thunderbirds, having the majority of Australian players, would perhaps have this a different way as far as the scoreline reads, but Phoenix leading by 5, 33 plays 28. Let's see what Mogg can do with this. She narrows it down to 4, 29 plays 33.
Jacobson, Chocolate onto McMahon. High ball to Southby. Harvey closely defending Eloise Southby.
Southby really jostling Harvey there, taking the front position. Harvey being forced to contact Southby. Sutter's under, McMahon draws the contact. So turnover going the way of Thunderbirds.
33 plays 29. Sutter onto Harvey. Finds Squire. Delaney over to Sanders. Mogg back to Sanders. High ball across to Hodge. Oh, good defense from the Phoenix. And Delaney finally with the ball for the Thunderbirds, and it rolls around the rim and drops in for Jackie Delaney. Phoenix with a 3-goal lead, 33 plays 30, but the Thunderbirds with another opportunity to bring that scoreline down.
A lot of space again being used by the Thunderbirds. Quick hands there. Sanders, Mogg. Mogg, short range shot. Penalty. Put your house on this. It sinks for Cassie Mogg. So Mogg, 18 from 21. Margin only 2 at the moment, 31. Up against 33 for the Melbourne Phoenix.
And the crowd becoming a little more vocal now that the scoreline is becoming closer, as you would expect, but nice work there. Southby into McMahon. McMahon with the goal. Stretches that lead again to 3. 34 plays 31.
Southby once again moves onto McMahon, and McMahon secures that one for the Phoenix.
In the meantime, Delaney says anything you can do, we can do as well. 34 plays 32. Howie to McMahon. Harvey contacts and goes down.
Offside.
Sanders with the offside to be taken by McMahon. The setup. Harvey, Sutter, double defending Southby.
Offside with defence. Just there.
Oh, she was close.
Pass or shot.
Squire knew it.
Blaine, in there.
Just a foot offside. McMahon to Southby. And Eloise Southby with her 17th goal of the evening. 35 plays 32. Phoenix out in front. Jackie Delaney for the Thunderbirds. Bounces off the rim. Tabner drags it in. Howie. Onto Walton. Walton to Jacobson. Chocolate in the centre of the court. Oh, McMahon's come out of the circle. Contacts on Sutter. She'll stand aside. Quite a distance out of the circle. So Harvey doing...
Both players.
And we can hear now Squire will stand aside.
Out.
Phoenix managed to get it to McMahon.
Contact.
And Sherelle McMahon with her 19th goal. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Phoenix out by 4 now. 36 plays 32, and the Phoenix with a chance to stretch that lead back to 5 again.
Thunderbirds just getting there, Simone, but just can't, you know, they're chasing the whole time. They just don't look as strong at the moment as the Melbourne Phoenix. And both Southby and McMahon are taking the percentage shots, as we see there, closer to the post. Another one to the Phoenix, 37, plays 32.
What you've just said, Monica, has been really the reverse for the Phoenix in previous weeks. They've been hanging on, but just not quite there. Tonight, they've come out determined. They've turned that around. This time, they're young players, and they do have quite a few young players in their lineup now, taking on the absolute hotshots of the league, the Thunderbirds, and really taking it to them. What remains to be seen, though, is whether they can take it to them for a full 4 quarters. We'll know soon enough as Southby. Lovely arc on that, and she's pumped up, Eloise Southby.
McMahon to the pocket. There's Southby. Quite a long-range shot. Haven't seen many of those during this game. So the confidence riding high with the Melbourne Phoenix.
It's out to 6 now, that lead. 38 plays 32. Good ball into McMahon. Oh, bounces off.
Contact, goal attack.
That one goes against Southby. Contacted on Sarah Sutter. Sutter with a long ball to Harvey.
Contact, wing defence.
Chocolate with the contact. Hodge will take it. Mogg, the forward movement. Delaney. So the advantage doesn't stay in the circle, and that makes me really angry because they worked it into the goal circle and the ball was pulled back out again, but it stays for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. 33 plays 38.
Thunderbirds on the attack. Strong ball from Mogg into Delaney. Jackie Delaney. Nice movement from Delaney. 16 from 24 now for her, shooting at 67%. Can the Phoenix reply? They're still out by 4. 38 plays 34. Harvey and Southby struggle for the ball. That one goes over the sideline. Remains with the Phoenix, though. Must have been last off Sutter. Jacobson, the wing attack for the Phoenix. Into McMahon.
Good hands again from Squire. She's had a lot of deflections.
And that one goes her way, Squire. Couple have been unlucky against her, but this time it was called on McMahon, so the Thunderbirds now on the attack. Delaney.
Goal attack.
Hodge. Small bounce pass.
Contact, wing.
Into Mogg.
Vantage, contact,
Saunders.
centre.
Into Delaney. Oh, that one just caught the edge of the rim, rolled round and dropped for Delaney. Difference back to 3, 38 plays 35. But the Thunderbirds on the roll at the moment. Time called. Liz Taverner went down on the sideline. She's limping here. Liz Taverner last year, of course, had a devastating knee injury and had to have a knee reconstruction. What a joy it was when she rejoined her team, or changed team, and rejoined the netballing world on court this week, or this year.
See if we can pick up what's happened to Liz. She's behind Mog. She goes down, and did she grab her knee? Looks like it there, just last frame of vision.
Oh, we hope not. Wayne Rogers again attending to Liz Taverner.
You can see that there's a bit of stress there on the sideline.
As we said, she is a member of the Australian squad who will be taking on England. It doesn't look good for Liz Taverner at the moment. Dates for those tests, the 25th of May, Australia take on England in Melbourne at the Glass House. 28th of May, they'll be in Sydney at Homebush at the State Sports Centre. And then the 31st of May, they'll be in Adelaide. The match will be at Etzer Park. Tickets are on sale now. I've got my ticket, Monica. It will be an epic struggle.
Got my ticket too for Adelaide, Simone. It should be sensational. England really coming back into the World Netball arena. They've got a New Zealand coach and also an Australian coach over there, and those two.
I tell you what, at the moment, let's just keep our fingers crossed. We'll be there, but will Liz Taverner? Fingers crossed, definitely. We hope she will.
Yeah. Oh.
Couldn't really see from that one, but you could see the expression on Liz Taverner's face. She's a tough competitor. But that one hurt as she went down. Delaney starts again, and it's Harrison who's come on to replace Liz Taverner. And Harrison, wow, what a task it is for her. Taverner has played so well in this match to date. 38 plays 36, that difference is back to 2. Will that injury disrupt the Phoenix as we see Sanders take a great intercept?
Oh, Chocolate put the pressure on.
It was great work from both wings there. One put the pressure on, one gathered in the stray pass. Howie looks for McMahon and finds her. Now to Southby.
Oh, pass. Oh, great work there. Southby, McMahon. That was mighty netball.
Even off balance there, Sherelle McMahon. Did wonderfully well with her shooting partner, Eloise Southby, both of them in fine form tonight. Mogg onto Sanders at the other end. Hodge, cross to Cassie Mogg, doesn't want to shoot it from there. Harrison is all over Cassie Mogg, but she's caused the infringement. Jackie Delaney will take it. 39 plays 37, 4.5 remaining in the third quarter. 2 the difference. Taverner coming off, the crowd now just a little edgy, but the Phoenix are responding to the challenge. Jacobson now, McMahon.
Sutter was swatting flies there in the goal circle. She just jumped 2 inches. She would have got the deflection, but Southby right under the post for the Melbourne Phoenix. 40 goals to them, 37 to the Adelaide Thunderbirds, 3 the margin.
Eloise Southby, that was her 20th goal from the evening. Sherelle McMahon has also scored 20. Shows you how well both of those players are combining in circle, sharing that workload. Delaney onto Mogg. Mogg lines it up. Ooh, doesn't like it, just does a sneaky little dish. Off to Delaney, and Delaney, that one goes through nicely. Taverner on the sideline. Apparently, she's going to be leaving the side of court, perhaps to get some treatment. Maybe that means she won't be rejoining us in this match.
You can see from here that her right knee is iced with a bandage around it.
Inside the circle.
McMahon quickly releases to Southby. No time lost out there at all from either teams. The Phoenix now 41 over the Thunderbirds 38.
Contact, wing defense.
Chocolate with the contact, Sanders.
Thanks.
In the middle of the goal third, Hodge holds it up. Again, good space.
Center.
Commitment by Sanders, takes it. Delaney hits the top of the post. Rebounded by Harrison. speared out. Chocolate and Jacobson working it down. Look at the space there. Cheryl McMahon had it, but Harvey read it well.
Contact.
The pass just wasn't strong enough there. McMahon gave a little nod, bit of a smile, said, don't worry, next time you'll get it. Still ahead, though, the Phoenix by 3. 41 plays 38. Delaney looks to bring that margin back. Oh, but off target again. And the contact goes against Cassie Mobb. So the Phoenix on the attack again. Howie across to Jacobson. Howie again into McMahon. Looks to quickly offload.
Contact centre, advantage offside.
Finds a flying Jacobson.
Offside.
Squire again offside, but she's trying for those intercepts. Always trying, Peter Squire.
Southby in the circle to take it. She's got the pocket option, and she had also Howie behind her, but well done, McMahon. The prima ballerina there, McMahon on the goal line to Southby.
She's just so in tune at the moment, McMahon. Watch this. She's off balance. She knows she's going out court. She doesn't try for the goal. She can see Southby. She puts up a well-weighted pass. Southby gets it and gets the goal. But in fact, there's been another injury for the Phoenix here. A groan goes out from the crowd. Jacobson has taken a tumble this time. And boy, isn't Wayne Rogers having a busy night tonight.
Seems to be
another
an
ankle
perhaps,
this time,
yes.
a left ankle. This is not what the Phoenix need. They've been a well-oiled machine tonight. Jacobson's this time going down. Oh, she's in distress too.
And a good tussle between Squire and Jacobson. Squire putting the pressure on. She's got the height advantage. See, her ankle was taped, so if she has gone over on that right ankle, it's perhaps saved her.
I'm not sure it's the right ankle she's having problems with. I think it's the left ankle.
That's also taped.
Okay, they're both taped. Let's hope the support has helped them. Ooh, she just ran into a stationary Jackie Delaney and twisted it on the way down. Delaney was watching play, and Jacobson straight down. This is worrying stuff for Joyce Brown. She's got a good combination happening out on court at the moment. You can see some worried looks there from the crowd. Gosh, they love their Melbourne Phoenix. They've supported them well here this evening. Playing against the first-placed Adelaide Thunderbirds. They knew it was going to be a tough tussle. And it looks as if Wendy Jacobson, in fact, will be coming off court. The ankle injury is bad enough that she is being lifted off court. The crowd appreciate her efforts and clap her as she is carried to the sideline. Let's hope for Wendy Jacobson it's not too serious an injury. Will Phoenix gather in the centre? The cry goes up. They give a chant. But again, this time Smith has taken to court. Danny Smith for the Melbourne Phoenix. Called off the bench. What can she do to insert herself? Anne Harrison has done quite well in the defensive end since she's replaced Taverner.
Straight away, Squire gets those long arms of hers over the ball of Smith. Sideline still with Phoenix.
Can the Phoenix settle? Quite a distressing quarter for them. Two of their main players being benched with injury. That one goes astray. Nice work from Squire. Sanders onto Harvey. Harvey.
Obstruction wing.
Nice play from the Thunderbirds. Sanders now. Oh, the ball goes across.
Contact. Peter.
Looking to weight it across to Hodge.
And Harrison with the contact. Delaney. Long range shot. Steps it in. Gets closer. Sinks it for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They're within 3. 39 plays 42.
Oh, beautiful work from Anne Harrison. Great interception. She wasn't in perfect positioning, but she used all of her height to drag that one in. Southby to McMahon. McMahon hits the deck. Claiming she was hit around the chest area there. Last off the Thunderbirds. Phoenix with possession from the sideline.
McMahon playing in front of Harvey has the advantage. Melbourne Phoenix 43. Adelaide Thunderbirds 39. Margin 4 again into the last minute.
In fact, that is quarter time here. It's escaped us. We were watching the scoreboard. We were watching the play. We were watching the injuries. But that is 3/4 time. Phoenix Phoenix are still ahead in this match against the Adelaide Thunderbirds. The Melbourne Phoenix 43, the Adelaide Thunderbirds 39. Let's take a look at the Adelaide Thunderbirds statistics and how they have been travelling along in this match as a team. As we've said, Cassie Mogg, 18 from 21 goals. That's great shooting from her. But Jackie Delaney, she's steadily worked her way into this match. 21 from 31 at 68% she's shooting at the moment. She's given away 5 penalties, 1 intercept and 14 turnovers. I'm sure she won't be happy with that. That's quite a number of turnovers for one player to have. Other important statistics there. Harvey has 14 penalties against her. Sutter has 10. But again, they are defending a shooting pair who are well on track at the moment. So that could be excused, I suppose you could say. So at quarter time, three-quarter time, it's 43 plays 39. The Phoenix still ahead. Hold on to your hats. This is going to be an explosive fourth quarter in this match between the Melbourne Phoenix and the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Fantastic netballing action coming your way on ABC television. We hope you're enjoying it at home. Thunderbirds with first possession of the fourth quarter. They're trailing by 4. Phoenix 43, Thunderbirds 39. Delaney lines up for the first shot of the fourth quarter. It's all net for Jackie Delaney. 43 plays 40, only one change. Out on court, Alex Hodge has gone from wing attack to centre, and Rebecca Sanders has gone from centre to wing attack. Just a positional change there for the Thunderbirds. As we see a beautiful ball into Southby. Eloise Southby.
Good screen set up there by McMahon. Had the defender in front of her. Southby was roaming behind. Squire onto Hodge, just moved into her new position, Delaney. Strong move. Needs to lift the Adelaide Thunderbirds. 41 plays, 44, 3 the margin. Adelaide Thunderbirds with 2 more attempts at the post than the Melbourne Phoenix, so not accurate shooting from the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Smith into McMahon. McMahon with the goal. We're trading goals here in Waverley. Phoenix up by 4, 45 plays 41.
Vantage breaking goal at
Hodge out to Sanders. Delaney looks for an option, has to go wide and across court to Hodge. Into Delaney. Jackie Delaney has started this fourth quarter with absolute confidence. 24 goals from 34 attempts at 71%. Goes against Delaney at this point. The contact call, brought back to centre court. Phoenix through Howie. Chocolates. Good work from Harvey. But it goes over the sideline, so Phoenix with possession. Ooh. Howie. Cross to Smith. Smith to McMahon. McMahon out to Howie. McMahon with the quick hands. Sutter almost had it, but it ends up with Eloise Southby. Southby takes that lead back to 4 for the Melbourne Phoenix.
Look at McMahon, spears it out to Howie. Quick, didn't even hold it. Hot potato, Southby on the goal line there. Shoots it for the Melbourne Phoenix. Action with Delaney for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Rims out, rebounded strongly by Harrison.
And Harrison, that was indeed strong in the air. She pulled it down. Howie to Southby now. Back to Walton. Chocolate onto Southby. Howie throws it right for McMahon. Chases it down. Looks for an option now. Finds Southby. Works with Smith. Eloise Southby. All net. And again, she's pumped up, as is the crowd. Oh, these young ones, they love their heroes out on court.
Great endeavour here by the Melbourne Phoenix. They are pumped. Oh, what a take, Alex Hodge.
That was just impressive, Alex Hodge. One-handed, falling off balance on one foot. It's just amazing what's going on out there. Take a look at this. She keeps control, keeps it in court. Oh,
McMahon took it hard from Sutter.
Solid.
Obstruction, wing.
There is no love lost out there on court tonight. Both these teams fighting hard. Cassie Mogg takes her team's total to 43. Phoenix 47, Thunderbirds 43.
Hodge turns and uses A defender in the attacking movement. That was Catherine Harvey, the captain of the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Sanders in a wing attack on to Delaney, and she puts one in for the Adelaide Thunderbirds, trailing by 3. 44 plays 47.
And again, the cheers go up from the crowd. I think it's a little too close for their liking at the moment. 3 goals. Can they make it 4? Southby now for the Phoenix. Lines it up.
Play on.
You heard the call. Play on. Ella doesn't want a second go. She gets it on the first attempt. Oh, beautiful ball and wonderful court movement from Delaney, who finishes it off beautifully. The pace just hasn't faltered here at all in any of these quarters.
Not for a second, Simone. I agree with you entirely. It has been torrid from the first whistle. McMahon could not keep control. Sutter. Harvey, long one to Hodge. Mogg cuts back out of the circle, uses Hodge. Delaney. Walton with the extension, Delaney with the shot. Margin now 2, 46, plays 48.
No hesitation at all from Jackie Delaney. She receives this ball, turns around, has it in her sights. She's not even going to think about it. That's beautiful shooting. Sanders onto Delaney. Thunderbirds on the attack. Can they bring it back to 1? Yes, they can. 48 plays 47. The Thunderbirds are coming back. Woohoo! Monica, no bias, please. We know you come from Adelaide. Commentators are meant to be impartial, Monica. Phoenix 48, Thunderbirds 47. Sherelle McMahon.
It's just a great game. The atmosphere, the speed, the skills. Would have to be one of the best games of season 99.
I tell you what, Monica, I bet there are people at home cheering and screaming along with you. Delaney, off balance, backing for Mogg. Harrison, good work again. She's not taking a backward step out there, Anne Harrison. Howie, onto Walton. Back to Howie. Phoenix. Oh, this one's going astray. Just couldn't find their way down court on that attempt. Joyce Brown.
Not happy.
Oh, not at all. That was an important possession. But the Thunderbirds now through Harvey. Onto Mogg. Hodge. Into Delaney. Jackie Delaney.
To retake.
Get another attempt at this one. Walton stands aside. In for Delaney. Back to 1. 49 plays 48. Phoenix with the centre pass. Howie to Smith. Oh, you can hear the cheer. They're standing, they're jumping in the aisles here at the Waverley Centre. That was great sight there, and a fantastic pass from the Phoenix.
To the difference, just over 8 minutes remaining in this last quarter. The Phoenix leading by that 250 plays 48. Delaney, strong take in front of Walton. Delaney putting her body in all night tonight. Mogg takes the pass. Mogg, the better shooter here tonight for the Thunderbirds. That's her 20th goal from 23 attempts at 87%. Delaney, 29 from 40.
Southby goes back to Walton. Smith, back to Southby. Smith flying through. Southby not back in the circle. Contact against Hodge. Southby takes it. Beautiful. All 4 shooters at the moment running hot. Exactly what their teams need of them at this point. Phoenix 51. Thunderbirds 49. Oh, that one just rolls off the rim and out the back. And the chant goes up for the Phoenix.
McMahon, 24 from 29. Great shooting from her for the Melbourne Phoenix. Only 3 missed by Southby. 27 plays 30. This is a held ball called against the Melbourne Phoenix. Mogg missed 3 also. 20 from 23. Delaney, not great shooting tonight from her. 71%, 29 from 41.
Contact centre.
That was a mistake they didn't need in the midcourt there. The Phoenix, a held ball. But the Thunderbirds now, Delaney, oh, she brings it back again within 1. 51 plays, 56 minutes, 38 remaining in this 4th quarter. In fact, in this match.
Thunderbirds need a turnover and almost picked up by Hodge. Space going to Southby. Harvey wasn't with her.
Contact, Tinker.
Oh, contact called on Sutter.
Southby with another attempt, and this time it goes in. They're on the edge of their seats, so we? What a fantastic match this has been between the Phoenix and the Thunderbirds. Delaney, beautiful goal. She comes good at the right time. Jackie Delaney.
Hodge, Delaney, Walton, overran, recovered.
Phoenix now, Howie onto Southby. Ooh, Hodge gets a hand in there.
But a few good touches here in this last quarter. Alex Hodge moving from wing attack to centre. Sanders and Hodge doing the swap.
McMahon. Oh, the pressure's on here. You can see McMahon takes a breath.
Former Australian player there, Jane Sell on screen watching this action. Mogg.
Onto Sanders.
Construction wing.
Hodge. Can she get it into the shooters? Mogg, quick hands onto Delaney. Harrison almost had it, but Hodge has regathered for the Thunderbirds. Delaney, high ball across to Mogg. Cassie Mogg takes a breath, lines it up. Oh,
my goodness.
Against Jackie Delaney.
Oh.
That is a crucial call. With under 5 minutes remaining in this match, it goes against the Thunderbirds and the Phoenix now. Will they make them pay at the other end? Eloise Southby does just that. The difference is back to 3. 54 plays 51. Phoenix with the centre. Smith into McMahon. Sutter goes down. She's up again now and defending. But McMahon with the goal. They've extended it to 4 goals now, Phoenix. 55 plays 51.
Great take from Sanders, but she was off balance. Turnover going the way of Phoenix. You can almost feel that the Thunderbirds, who've been chasing all night, are losing this game. It is slipping somewhat, even though just over 4 minutes remaining. Ascendancy with the Melbourne Phoenix, and look at Sherelle McMahon as she pumped.
Now it's 5 that lead. 56 plays 51, and they still have possession, the Melbourne Phoenix. Walton, that was good work from Delaney. Got a hand through it, and they're on the fly, the Thunderbirds. Mogg steadies.
Thunderbirds.
That's a nice steadying shot from Cassie Mogg. 56 plays 52.
Strong move there from Hodge to Mogg.
Construction and again.
Mogg sets it up for Thunderbirds. Sings it for them, and we're back with the Adelaide Thunderbirds as we call that replay.
Jackie Delaney has scored another goal for the Thunderbirds. It's now 56 plays 53. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this match. Sutter goes up. Does well, Sarah Sutter, and has regained possession for her team, the Thunderbirds. They get it quickly down court. Sanders onto Delaney. Delaney with the goal. Wasting no time, Adelaide. 56 plays 54, just as momentum had swung towards Melbourne. Now it's back with Adelaide.
Sanders, good take. Mogg again. That quick ball movement by those two players. Good hands from Mogg and Sanders. Harrison standing out. Mogg looking to pass Delaney, and she does. Delaney takes the space. Casual as six it for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. A 1-goal difference. 55 plays 56.
The Phoenix now, as the chant goes up once more. McMahon keeps them in front by 2. Melbourne Phoenix 57, the Adelaide Thunderbirds 55, and this call goes against the Thunderbirds.
Rebecca Sanders hardly disagrees with the umpire, but on that occasion she did.
Oh, and they've thrown it away, the Phoenix. No, it must have been last off the Thunderbirds. McMahon, pressure shooting, it drops out the back. She tries to keep it in court. Sherelle McMahon, but it's gone out the back, and so the Thunderbirds now, they have a minute 54 to peg back this difference. Mogg. Oh, goes through the hands of Sanders. And it's been called a Phoenix ball. Harrison with possession for the Melbourne team. Contact against Delaney. It's going to go down to the wire. The difference is 2. Minute 30 remaining in the match. What an exciting game it's been. Walton onto Southby. Howie keeps it in. Onto Smith. Southby into McMahon. What a sterling game both these ladies have had tonight. Sherelle McMahon she knows they're almost home. They're playing the defending champions in the Adelaide Thunderbirds, and they're out by 3 at the moment. Melbourne Phoenix 58, Adelaide Thunderbirds 55. Time's just called while we get the ball back down to where the umpires want play to start again.
Up in the goal third.
Howie for the Phoenix. Onto McMahon. Cross the circle to Smith. Smith to McMahon. Lovely work. And now there's some smiles coming from some of the Phoenix players as we see a beautiful ball in from Thunderbirds.
Contact, goal attack.
Delaney was
Goal attack there.
off balance though, couldn't manage to get the goal. Time's been called while we regather the ball. Delaney has been called for the contact, so it is a Phoenix possession. And with 4 goals the difference and only 30 seconds remaining, you'd think that the Phoenix have this one wrapped up. It's with the Thunderbirds. Hodge onto Delaney. Delaney still sinking them for the Adelaide team. 35 from 48 so far for the evening. South B back to Walton. She's played a great game tonight. Walton on to Smith, who's played well since she's come on the court. In an intense battle, as the crowd goes up, that is full time here at Waverley. You'd think they'd won the grand final here in Melbourne, but it's just round 6, but it is an important victory. The Melbourne Phoenix 60 have beaten the Adelaide Thunderbirds 56. And aren't they happy about it? It was a wonderful victory for them. Let's take a look at the statistics for the match and see how both teams fared against each other. In the penalties, it was equal. It was tough out there on court all night. Thunderbirds 65, the Phoenix 62. Turnovers 10 more to the Thunderbirds. They had 31, the Phoenix 21. Intercepts 14 for the Thunderbirds. There were some flying girls out there tonight. 9 for the Phoenix. Rebounds 7 for the Phoenix and 5 for the Thunderbirds. The attempts 2 more for the Thunderbirds. They had 72. The Phoenix had 70. In the end, that score, the Melbourne Phoenix 60 have defeated the Adelaide Thunderbirds 56. And one of the players of the match, Sherelle McMahon, is now speaking with Monica.
Thanks, Simone, and what a great game that was. As commentators, we were so excited. Good work.
Oh, it was a great game. I mean, we went out tonight, we've had a great week on the training track and everyone just had a really good feeling about it. We just put it out onto the court, which is something we failed to do in the past week, so we're all just wrapped.
Sherelle, that first quarter really set it up for you. You got out by 5 and really you never looked back.
Yeah, I think we actually took them a bit by surprise. Maybe they were expecting us not to come out quite as tough, but as I say, we were just really positive, and I mean, as you say, that really set it up for us, and yeah, it was a great first quarter.
The start of the game, we thought perhaps Harvey and Sutter would really work you and Southby out quite well, but you really kept the pressure up. As well, that injury to Liz Taverner didn't upset the momentum at all for the Melbourne Phoenix.
No, it didn't, and I'm not actually so sure of the extent of that injury, and hopefully for Tav and everyone's sake that it's not too bad, but Anne did an absolutely fantastic job coming in. It's hard to come in, especially in a game of that amount of pressure and at the stage that it was, and she just did a great job, and so did the rest of the team.
You personally have had an up and down start to the season, but this game really secured a place again back in the Australian side as such. I know you're there, but perhaps your season hasn't started out as well as you would have liked.
No, it certainly hasn't. A bit disappointing, as you say, but I mean, there's still a lot of the year to go, and hopefully we just keep building on what we've done tonight, because it's just a great feeling, and as you can see, everyone's so happy about the win, and hopefully we can take it on from here.
Well, on the up now. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Well, what a fantastic match that was here from Melbourne. We hope you've enjoyed it at home. We certainly enjoyed it here at Waverley. Make sure you stay tuned to the ABC for plenty more netballing action. Tomorrow afternoon, join Steve Robilliard and Anne Sargent. They'll bring you the match between the Perth Orioles and the Melbourne Kestrels. That's at 5 p.m. Then on Sunday at 9:30 in the morning, we'll have a netball highlights program for you with all the best action from the matches between the Phoenix and Thunderbirds and the Orioles and the Kestrels. Next Friday, Monica and I will be in Sydney for the match between the Sydney Sandpipers and the Perth Orioles. Join us at 10:30 next Friday for that one. At 5 o'clock next Saturday, Steve and Anne will have the game between the Melbourne Kestrels and the Melbourne Phoenix. That should be an intense clash between the two Melbourne teams. And of course, don't forget every Sunday morning at 9:30, that highlights program of all the best action from the round. For soccer fans, it's finals time. Make sure you stay tuned to us. It all starts tonight when the Perth Glory take on Marconi in the first leg of the